Okay, it's time today in State of Decay 2 Nightmare Zone, I believe episode 80. We are going to be trying Jalen Mills's challenge. That is the name of the person who has given me the comment on the challenge. We've had basically two challenges so far that I haven't done, the shootout challenge, and this one I'm going to call the blood plague challenge. Here are the conditions. I'll just read the whole thing. Hey Fox, I got a real challenge for you. Take out a plague art while having the infection blood plague on your character within the 10 minutes. You must use melee only. You can have a cure, you can use scent block, you can use snacks, you can heal. If you complete this challenge, you'll be the best zombie player to me. Well, that is definitely, that we're gonna give that a shot. So, I have already preloaded a character that I have determined that I will use. I have gotten them mostly infected so that the application of the scent block will put them into full blood plague. The person I'm going to be using is obviously Seraphina, since she's kind of become the Hercules of the group. If you know a little bit about mythology, Hercules is a character who's constantly going on these, like, potentially suicidal quests, and he does it because he usually makes some terrible mistake that gets like innocent people killed, and then he feels really bad about it. I don't want to damage my weapon, so I'm just going to lure this zombie inside. There we go. Now they'll deal with it for me. Oh, that was a mistake. Okay, it was only that one character who saw it. Let's go ahead and put an end to that real quick. Anyways, yeah, so Hercules, he usually makes some kind of terrible mistake and gets, like, innocent people killed, and he feels really bad about it, so he basically embarks upon these incredible quests in order to atone. And that's kind of what Seraphina feels like right now. Alright, so let's go over our gear. The scent block, obviously. If I get, you know, beat up really bad, I got the first aid kits to cure the injuries. I have this here. The plague cure here is obviously so that when we complete the challenge, or if we fail it, I could use this to save my character from, you know, inevitable blood plague death. A ton of snacks, double stacked through resourcefulness, and also just some normal healing in the event that I just get some random hits. Now, he didn't say anything about me using some of these side abilities, so I'm going to use primary care to increase my hit points. Let's watch it. Bam. Another boost of health. And let me see, which heart should I take? I want to take one that's kind of in a residential house. It looks like there might not be any that are in a normal, everyday residential home. Storage building, that one might be good. Basically, I want one that has, like, a window I can jump out of. The main concern we have is... Oh, and as you can see, no melee weapon, or 2 melee weapons, and no ranged weapon. That was conditioned on it, as I can't use a ranged weapon. So, the main thing is, even though when you have blood plague you're really slow, you could still jump out of windows, and, like, that's kind of like your most advanced parkour thing that you can do. And that's something that I'm going to need to be able to do in order to escape the zombies as they come and attack me. So I was hoping to have a home, just because homes have a ton of windows, and homes tend to be really compact, meaning you would be able to get to a window very easily, but it looks like all we have left are these kind of warehouse-style buildings. Let me look at some of these along the way there to see which of these plague guards I think would provide the best terrain. Yeah, like this one, there's nothing to park. Well, I guess we have the...
I'm so sick of plague zombies.
No, the heart is in the corner. I don't want to do that one. Let's look at this one, the shady old barn. Probably a similar situation. All the barns are... I think there's only like 2 barn variations. This one has the advantage of having the upstairs area. So, I mean, we could run away if we needed to. Well, it has a feral right next to it, so that immediately makes it less attractive. I want at least the possibility that we won't get a feral. Like, every now and then we don't. But if there's a feral, like, literally right next to it, then we've obviously removed that possibility completely. But this is the one I think I'm going to give a try. Here we go. On. We are now on the official timer.
Doctor, before I need a priest.
Now here's the trick to this one, is the weapon I chose.
I'm barely hurting this thing.
And I chose this weapon for a very specific reason. And that is that it is completely silent.
I can't keep this up.
And this is what I was hoping for. I think my guess was correct. Oh wait, don't get deeper into it. So here's the idea. I was like, what weapon is going to kill the plague art fastest? But then I'm like, you know, the real problem is noise. If the zombies hear me, that's the real problem.
It's hurting. Don't let up now.
Oh man. I just wasted that one. I didn't need to use that. And as you can see, normally the zombies would be all over me. But because we're using a... Let's look at the stats. You can see here that the quietness, maximum quietness rating. And that means that they're having a lot of trouble detecting me, even on top of the scent block. And if you look at the mini-map, you'll see that we're not generating any noise at all.
It works.
Although killing a zombie still creates noise. We don't even want to kill zombies, actually.
Keep it up and we just might.
So there we go. My plan was successful. We're gonna go ahead and kill a second one. Just because, like, you know, what? We're 8 minutes into the episode. Let me go ahead and get out of the blood plague. I know people are going to be like, oh my god, like, oh man, this wasn't even like a challenge, but I think the issue here is just having a little bit of know-how of the game mechanics and understanding how you can trick the game. Kind of want that break. Kind of want that gun. You can just take the gun and put it in the back. Like this. Unfortunately, our inventory is so full that it's really inefficient to even carry anything. Because we packed for so much gear. So I'm pretty happy with the performance. Normally I don't use these weapons, but the issue here is just that... And also I chose this one over... This is my backup weapon in the event it broke down, but as you can see, this one has the higher impact rating, which appears to be the stat that does the most damage to the plague hearts.
Almost
Go ahead and use that just to... I want those medkits. Medkits can be a little annoying. Okay, let's go kill a second one, just because, you know, we did get a feral, which is kind of what I wanted, but at the same time, we kind of, we did it so smoothly that I feel like I feel like a second one is in order, just to make the challenge worthwhile. Because usually in challenge episodes, I don't like to drag the episode out, so if it's only a 20-minute episode, it's only a 20-minute episode.
I think we're gonna be okay for a while.
So first we're gonna go over here to our outpost. We're gonna make a little bit of preparation. Oh, looks like I drove too far. Not too big a deal, though. Got a horde over there that might have heard me, or they might just be wandering in this direction just because that's the way they're shambling. Okay, so first let's restock all of our snacks,
No place to put that.
which we didn't use that many. Let's repair this weapon. Let's put this away. So here we're going to use one of these and one of these. That gets us nearly infected. Now, that's a healing item, so it's not allowed. So what I'm actually going to do is log out like this, and then we're going to log back in. And what that's going to do is it's going to maintain the level of blood plague infection that we have, but it's actually going to clear away the beneficial effects. So when we get back into the game, I'll have the same infection level, but it will get rid of the Zedi and it will get rid of the Zedrenaline. Otherwise, we would have to wait 5 minutes for those to wear off naturally. Or I could have just done it with those on, but, you know, the challenge said, you know, the only stamina restoration item I'm allowed to use are snacks, and the Zedrenaline is a stamina restoration item. So that's why we're going to do that, you know, just to make sure that we're adhering to the challenge. Because melee weapon only, check. We can have a cure, check. We use the scent block, check. We can only use snacks, check. Especially because now we're doing that. We can heal, which we didn't need to heal in that one, so we were fortunate. But we're going to have to make another cure, and then we will make another attempt. Now, what I'm hoping is that even if we get a feral, what I'm hoping for is that the quietness of the weapon will cause the feral to look, but not be able to find me. That's what I'm hoping for. So as you can see, same infection level, but the buffs are cleared. Okay, we're gonna need to make a scent block. Check. Make a cure. Still over 100 samples. Gonna need some medicine though, but we can always call medicine in. Oh, here's 8 samples right there. Scent block and blood plague cure. So let's choose, I don't know, double storage. Actually, how about, why not the big blue warehouse? I'll take a look at them both. That's what I'll do.
A lot of communities forget one of the most basic facilities for improving their quality of life. In my opinion, a kitchen is what turns a house into a home.
Okay, this is basically a repeat building. And what is the other location looking like? Okay, they're both the same, so it doesn't matter. So let's scent block on.
What a wonderful smell we've discovered.
Oh, this one doesn't have... This one is a lot more open, which I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Alright, let's begin.
I'm barely hurting this thing.
For barely hurting this thing, we are... Okay, this time we got a feral. We're gonna see if the feral makes much of a difference. Gotta let the glass, or the, not the glass, the gas clear. Let's see if the feral is capable of finding us, even though we're not making so much as a peep right now.
It's hurting. Don't let up now.
He's making a lot of noise. That doesn't mean that he's right next to us, though. Like, the feral, he just makes a lot of noise in general. That's his thing. Like, breathing really hard, etc. Now, what I might do is, oh, he found me. Let's go outside. So he's gonna lose track of me due to... What if I could just beat his ass? Wow. Oh man, that's Mr. Feral, that was quite embarrassing. Wow, that was...
Oh, goody.
Of course, this did damage the weapon a decent bit.
Oh, this playcard history.
Oh, man. Wow. This weapon just totally destroyed that feral, wow. I mean, part of it was that we did pin him against the wall. The relevance of pinning the feral to the wall is if you get them something that they can't leap behind, like, you know, basically if you're meleeing a feral, they can jump back, they can basically perform their own combat dodge, and then they can counterattack you. And since I had Blood Plague on, I wouldn't be able to dodge it. It's just not really an option. But in that case, since I had him pinned to a wall, I'm able to just, like, chop him up, and he's not able to... Although it didn't even look like he attempted it. Normally they still try to do it, they just fail. So that was, That was not the best demonstration, Mr. Feral. That was quite awful, actually. So there you go. Both situations. The first one was my most strategic option, where I didn't get the feral. And the second one, I did it just because, you know, I know you guys are going to be mad that I didn't fight the feral. Like, oh man, like, that was... you need to do it with a character that's already dead. You need to use a dead character to complete the challenge. A character who's already dead needs to not be dead to complete the challenge. I know that's how some of you guys will be, but that's, I don't know, that's the challenge that was given to me. And my solution to these is always come up with the method that takes the danger out of it. If we had done it with a weapon that made noise, then the zombies would have been constantly harassing us. I mean, think about it. You guys were probably thinking that this would be like when I was doing the dropkick challenge, because the dropkick makes noise and they were constantly interfering with me. But in that time that I was considering what strategy I would use, that's what I was thinking about. The only weakness of killing Plague Arts in melee combat is that they hear you. Well, I mean, aside from needing the scent block. If you have a scent block, you can kill a Plague Art in melee combat. The main problem is that they hear you. And I was like, well, my first strategy was, what's the melee weapon that will kill the Plague Art in the smallest number of swings? But then I was like, you know what? That's probably the wrong idea. It's not about killing the Plague Art in the smallest number of swings. It's about not getting detected. It's about making the most out of the scent block. So I said, is there a weapon that's quiet? Then I'm like, wait a second, we got those echo weapons. We got the Mamba and the Wraith. Oh man, I just barely nicked it. Yeah, we had the Mamba and the Wraith. And I was like, you know what? I actually haven't tested them against the Plague Art, but I'm like, there's no reason it should make noise, even without me doing a test on it. I also did do a test on it because I kind of wanted it to be a surprise. I wanted to make it seem like, oh, I'm going to be using the, what weapon was I using? The Bell Club. I wanted to make it seem like I was going to use the Bell Club, when in reality, I was actually going to use this weapon. Let's put this in. Let's put that in. Oh, yeah, we're full on fuel. Throw these in, throw that in. Let's throw all of these in. Let's get her a gun so she could feel a little safer. Our Seraphina Hercules has went beyond the Call of Duty. We doubled down on the challenge and got a second one. I definitely think it would have gone... I think I could have still done it with a noisy weapon, but it would have been a lot harder. The main thing I was surprised by was the feral. That feral got the crap kicked out of it. But that's going to be the end of this episode because I like the challenge episodes. You know, they're more interesting, but they're also shorter. And I mean, let's cut me some slack. Like it's kind of like it gives me a chance to take a break. I mean, so this episode was only 21 minutes long, and so that's what it is right there. Jalen Mills, that was your challenge. Were you satisfied? Like, do you think I broke the rules in any particular way? I believe I followed all of the conditions. I'll read it one more time. You must only use a melee weapon, and that's true. We did use a cure, and it said you can use a cure. You can use scent block. I did use one of those. You can only use snacks. We only used a handful of snacks, and we might not have even needed to use any snacks. I mean, we used like 3 or 4 in total? You can heal, which I don't remember if I healed or not. I don't even think I may or may not have healed. I don't remember. And if you complete this challenge, you'll be the best zombie player to me. Am I the best zombie player to you, Jalen Mills? You are the judge. At any rate, thanks for watching the Blood Plague Challenge. Like this video if it was entertaining. If you are upset about the result, tell me in the comments section. You can call me a big fat doo-doo head if you want to, and I will try to explain why I'm not a big... Well, actually, I kind of am a big fat... Let's be honest, Fox is a big fat doo-doo head. At any rate, like this video if it was entertaining, and subscribe for future State of K2 content. Of course, remember that you don't have to be good to abandon your community to a zombie attack.